Hello, everyone. I'm Tammy Williams, and welcome to Naturally Brown Woman. I am so excited about this young lady that's going to be on the show today. She is fearless, and I say that word fearless. She is a social entrepreneur. She is a bee ambassador. She's a philanthropist. She's the founder and CEO of Me and the Bees Lemonade. And at the tender young age of 10, she was on Shark Tank. And you know what? She wasn't scared. She wasn't scared. In fact, she made a deal with them. So she is a boss. And now she can add the title of author to her many titles. She has a new book called Be Fearless, Dream Like a Kid. Please welcome Mikayla Ulmer and her mother. Welcome to Naturally Brown Woman, guys.
Hi, Naturally Brown Woman.
I'm so glad that you guys could join us today. Mikayla, I'm just so proud of you. And of course, I am even more proud of your mom because I know it takes a mom to help, make this business come alive. And I just want to say kudos to mom as well. So
Thank you.
yes. Let's jump right in. Let's talk about your book first. Let's talk about your new book.
Okay,
What
so we're
made you
starting right now.
starting right now? So what made you decide to write a book?
So I have had a lot of amazing experiences with starting Me and the Bees and going on Shark Tank and different things that I've learned about entrepreneurship. And a lot of the times I get asked to speak at different organizations and schools about those for other kids or even adults who are interested in entrepreneurship. And so as a student as well, I'm not homeschooled. I go to school and it's a pretty rigorous school. I can't accept all those requests to go and speak. And so I think after Shark Tank, someone reached out to us through email. And then a couple years after Shark Tank, she followed up and said, would you be interested in writing a book? And at that time, it was a lot of me having to say no for these speaking requests. And I was like, a book would be an amazing way to reach an audience and share my story and my lessons to an audience that I normally wouldn't even have been able to reach. And so that's why I decided to write a book. And also just I think it's an amazing milestone to be able to say you've written a book at 16.
Yeah. So tell us about some of the things that we'll find in the book. Give me one example of what you've written about.
I'd love to. So the book is called Be Fearless, Dream Like a Kid. And so I was gonna hold up. It is part memoir and also part business guide. And so when we were trying to figure out what age range we want to write the book to, whether we wanted middle school or little kids or adults, we ended up with starting with middle graders. So any middle schoolers who want to start a company. But then we realized that the content in this book is really fun to read for any age. Like even adults can learn something. So it's my story of starting and growing. It's like coming up with the name. It's going on Shark Tank, learning how to write a pitch, learning what a budget is, to like visiting the White House and where I am today. But then there's lessons. So it actually teaches you how to do that with your own company. And if you're an adult and already know it, it revises you or gives different tips that I would have. And it's a fun book about me, but it's also a book where you're learning about business as well.
Yeah. So tell me one thing that you've learned in being an entrepreneur. Tell me one thing here.
One thing I've learned is, and this is a pretty common one, how important it is to have a hive and how important it is to network. It's not just what your product is. It's a huge part of entrepreneurship is being able to tell a story, and you have to have an audience or kind of team members to tell that story too. So I've learned about networking, how to take advantage of whatever opportunity that I have to go meet people. And also I've learned about how to tell my story in a way that captures the crowd and makes them want to buy the product, because entrepreneurship and having a product isn't just selling that product, it's selling the results that that product gives you or the story that those people can be a part of.
Yeah, awesome. So, Mom, I see she's already learned the basics of marketing and promotion, which I absolutely love. And let's talk about your business, your product, and how you got started. Mom, I know she had some experiences with some bees. Okay, that wasn't very pleasant, but you took a very unique method of teaching, having her to do some research. Talk about that.
Right. So the first time she got stung by the bee, we were like, "Oh, okay, we're so sorry." But the second time she was stung, we were like,
This was when I was
"Wow."
4.
When she was 4, she started just being afraid of everything that would fly and go buzz.
Mhm.
So we said, well, the best way to overcome fear is actually to get behind it and learn. So we took her to the library and we looked up a lot of information about bees. And then we both learned very quickly that not only are bees important to our ecosystem, but they, you learn things like 1 out of 3 bites that we eat are pollinated by bees, and that they were dying. And so once she learned that they were dying,
I was like, I think my attitude towards them shifted. And I
Yeah.
also realized that, hey, this could be like, I could start a lemonade stand to help save them as well. So taking something that I was afraid of
Yeah.
and learning about it, learning that bees only sting when they're about to die. Like once a bee
Mm.
stings, they're going to die. So they only sting out of protection. Or learning that without the bees, I can't have like my chocolate or my fruits or veggies or almonds or even cheese on cheese pizza.
Yeah.
That definitely shifted my
Yeah.
perspective.
That's amazing. Yeah, I've heard, I don't know if you heard in life that, well, you've experienced it. Sometimes the things we go through, the trials and the tribulations, and at 4 years old, you had your your trial and your tribulation, and sometimes those things come to help somebody else. We go through it, and what we go through is sometimes it's for somebody else too.
yeah,
And
it benefits someone else.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. And so we see how this has happened. So you were stung by the bees. You did research and you found out the benefits of the bees. Okay, and you're like, okay, let me do a lemonade stand. Where'd you get that recipe from? And when and how did you decide to incorporate honey into your lemonade?
Yeah.
That's a good question. So, um, I wanted a toy that my cousin had. My parents said you can either do more chores to get that or find a way to earn money somehow else. And so I decided I have enough chores on my plate. I'm going to sign up for a business fair, which is where kids can come up with ideas and sell a product. And so over the summer of trying to come up with an idea, that's when the bee stings happened. But another thing happened. I got a cookbook from my great granny Helen. It was this 1940s tattered cookbook. The cover was falling off. It had ingredients like lard in it, but it had a recipe for flaxseed lemonade. And so I just got stung by bees. I learned that honeybees make honey. I also learned that flaxseed lemonade is pretty good because we tried making it. And the combination of those two ideas, I came up with Bee Sweet, which was lemonade that saved the bees. It was flaxseed lemonade that saved the bees, and I could donate a portion to organizations that were saving bees as well. So that's how it started. I dressed up in a bee suit, which is my mom's idea for marketing.
Marketing 101.
I think it was just to take cute photos, which the photos are very cute.
Yeah,
We
they
can
are.
send them, but that is how it all started. That's where the idea for honey came from, and the idea for flaxseed.
Awesome. So when you put that all together and you did your first taste test, tell me about that.
It tasted horrible. To be honest, the first taste test was not great. The first taste test was a very quick, I'm going to rummage through the fridge and try to see what ingredients I made. It was not enough to make a drinkable lemonade. But I think the next weekend I got to stay up a little bit past my bedtime,
Mhm.
and the whole family was making we wrote down what we had, and then we wrote down like the proportions of different ingredients, so I got to put in some math skills. And then we wrote down whether it was too sweet, too sour, like too dark or too light, looked like water.
Mhm.
And after a couple different rounds, we came up with the product flavor that we really liked, and that was mint. It was a mint flavor of the lemonade.
Oh, what a wonderful story. So how do we now get from one flavor to now 5 flavors,
I
right? You have 5 different flavors.
Yes.
How did that trend happen?
Well, I think compared to most other companies, we kind of go about adding our flavors in a different way because we try to make flavors that are more unique when it comes to lemonade. So, like, we don't have a pink lemonade or we don't have a regular blueberry lemonade, but we do have ginger and mint and
Mhm.
prickly pear, which is a cactus fruit. and half iced tea lemonade, and a classic. And so each of those flavors are either ones that we get from customers or supporters saying, hey, try jalapeno cucumber or something like that. They will give us their input and we're like, we really love that idea. Let us know what you think of this. And we'll try making it, or kind of be food scientists for a day and try making that flavor.
And we thought it was important to have a lemonade that tastes good and does good. So it kind of, you have the antioxidants of the tea. You have prickly pear, which is a fruit on a flower on a cactus. It has, anti-inflammatory, ginger for calming the stomach. So all of the ingredients they taste good, and they do double duty.
Yeah, they're healthy for you. Good, healthy ingredients. And that's when I read about that. I was really, really excited, and that the ingredients are healthy. I see you have a bottle right there. Which flavor?
Yes,
there?
I mean, you just touched on it. All the ingredients fit in this one strip,
right? So it's that you hear things like clean labels. This is a clean label. It you can pronounce everything in there, things that you would have in your kitchen. And that was important, as we supported her to grow the company, that it was a lemonade that was by a kid for kids.
Yeah. Oh, which is very good point. Very good point. For kids, that kids can drink it and parents can feel safe. Yeah.
I was going to tell you about the sugar content and the honey. It's.
Oh yeah.
You want to talk about that?
Yes, I think this is I can tie in a lesson with it, which was whether you as a business owner want to follow trends or create new trends. And so some of the flavors that we came up with was definitely creating new trends. Before we were on the shelves, there was no prickly pear beverage. Not that I recall. Like it was a new thing.
Not for kids.
Yeah, and there was also I don't remember there being honey mint.
No,
there was no honey mint lemonade.
Yeah.
And now we're kind of seeing that popping up. So those were new trends that we created. But then we were also getting a lot of feedback from customers saying, like, your sugar content is too high. I can't drink this, or I don't want my kids drinking it. And so that was an example of us needing to listen to our customers and kind of follow a trend. And we reduced the amount of sugar, and we kept the honey in there, but we reduced the amount of sugar. And that was, I don't know, was that 2 years ago? Or
yeah, it was 2 years. I mean, the lemonade always had less sugar than a cup of orange juice, but we were able to even drop it down a little bit more, where
still make it taste good.
The flavor of the prickly pear and the ginger hits first, and then you have some sweetness. And if you look at the reviews on the website, that's what they say. They say it's really good and it's not too sweet.
Yeah, I love that. First of all, that you guys are listening to your customers and going like, yeah, we can fine tune it a little bit. And Mom, as far as I read that Mikayla here is Time Magazine's. She's in the top 30 of most influential teens. That's a pretty big responsibility and accomplishment. How do you help her to balance between, say, first school and business, and just keeping that level head?
Right. Well, I'm always a mom first, right? So I'm always concerned about Mikayla, my child, versus Mikayla, founder and CEO of Me and the Bees. As far as balance, it takes a team. It also takes a good calendar and a lot of reminders, and so it's not easy. It is probably the most challenging thing that we do. And I have other kids as well, so I'm making sure everyone feels loved and cared for, and so I would say it's a combination of just managing that calendar, managing expectations, honestly saying no a lot, and asking for help when we need it.
Yeah.
Like I still do chores. Just want to throw that out there. I still have to Still have to do, I don't know. I think another part is keeping me humble. I don't know if that's how you put it, but a lot of people think that I don't have to do chores or things that normal teenagers have to do, but schoolwork, of course, comes first, and then
Dishes,
yeah, being a member of
kitchen,
the family.
bathrooms, chicken coop.
Yes, we have pet chickens.
So
Yeah. You know what? I'm just meeting your mom for the first time during this interview, and I have a feeling that she will not let you get away with too much, that she will, be that mom and you will do those dishes. I just have a feeling that she didn't play.
I think that's a compliment that she receives a lot. And it's just like, wow, you're just so down to earth, and she's humble and grateful. And I think that's what I love about her as well.
Yeah. So what is next for you guys? What can we expect from me and the bees?
Well, from me and the bees, you can expect, we're already nationally distributed, which is something that I'm very proud to say. We're in 40 states, but I think the next goal for me and the bees is increasing distribution and increasing awareness about the product. That's our top goal currently. And then also potentially um, maybe adding new flavors or different products to the line other than lip balms and lemonade. Continuing the launch of this book and working on my nonprofit, The Healthy Hive. So that is something where we're working on like creating a bee curriculum for schools, for building bee habitats on like land owned by businesses or campuses. So that's all part of the me and the bees, what we are looking towards in the future. For me, I am working right now on high school, then applying for college, and then in the future, I think it would be amazing to start another company or like invest in other minority run or female owned companies.
You know what? You should have seen your mom's face just then.
I know. She's like, I have to do this again.
By that time,
by this time I'll have my own team.
I'll
have my own office.
Yeah. I mean, right now, if the desire is for her to grow the company, you just don't grow, you have to scale the business. And so the scaling of the business is probably it's difficult because it's looking at all of the segments of the business and figuring out, okay, how do you double, triple, quadruple the output of each of these segments? And it's one of those things where those people that, you hear this a lot, but the people that got you to this point may not be the same people to get you to the next level. Making some of those decisions. Who's the right team to get you to scale the business?
And now during COVID, it's who, like, do we really need on our team? Or as a small business, we're being faced or hit pretty hard. So realizing who do we need to get us through this pandemic and who will we have to maybe bring back on team after numbers start getting up and after the pandemic slows down.
Yeah. So the pandemic has actually affected your business. I suppose people going into stores and orders. So you've seen that affect your sales, your bottom line.
Well, overall, what's interesting is that we often compare the business of to 2020 to 2019, right? And so it has impacted it, but it's starting to level off. I mean, meaning that 2019 and 2020 are starting to level off, look similar. But overall, I think just the industry is being impacted. Their budgets are being impacted, and so
no restaurants or hotels or cafes. Those are
But the beautiful thing about this is I think people are spending more time online and ordering online. And I'd say we've developed an online product, which is a beautiful box of lemonade packaging, and the sales have increased probably 1,000%, and people can get they can go out into the stores and get it in their neighborhoods, or they can get really cute packaging at home on their stairs, on their porch.
So you guys have learned to kind of adapt and come up with other creative ways to market and sell your product in lieu of the pandemic, because it is affecting a lot of people, a lot of small businesses, and like you said, people are looking to get some of their essentials, but just to you know, come up with other ideas of how to market, I think is great. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome. Mom, you know, share with us about any parent who wants to move their child into business, you know, entrepreneurship. What would you advise them to do?
If they have an interest, like Mikayla came to us with an interest, just support it, no matter how small it is.
Mhm.
I find that kids always want to spend more time with their parents, you know, and so when someone comes to me, whether it's Mikayla or a little kid, and they say, "Hey, mom, I want to color this rock," and I make it such a fun experience. And you know, we grab our stuff and we go to Michael's and go get paint, and we do the activities together. And so and then we always look for ways to give them a platform to apply what they're learning in school to everyday life, like writing, learning how to write so you can deposit your check, learning how to count, so that you can get the right change back as an entrepreneur. So that's the beauty of entrepreneurship, that it allows you to, you know, just leverage and apply everything that you learn in school to you know, entrepreneurship, to selling a product and learning financial responsibility.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So
Can I add one for kids?
yes, yes, ma'am.
Okay, this was, I mean, mom gave some advice for parents. I want to give some advice for any kids or teens who are listening, which is that you don't need to have everything or a lot of money to start. And what I mean by that is my mom was saying how she took me to Michael's and how we went and got products. That's not an option for a lot of people. And you may like create a budget, list out all the things you need and realize I don't have this amount of money. Like I don't have this much birthday money from last year to start this. So what do I do? And that's the same situation that I was in. All I had was $50 from my birthday money to start a lemonade stand idea. And so I think one part of that is learning how to problem solve and be more resourceful. For example, we started asking for donations for cups. And a lot of people would overlook that, thinking, oh, cups is so inexpensive. But when you have a stand and when you can get them for free, that's a lot. Or we, instead of buying a lemonade stand, decided to ask my dad, hey, can you build it? And maybe I can help paint it. And that took off, I think, $120 off of the expenses. So realizing that you don't have to have a lot of money to start, and start using the entire internet for looking for free resources or free people to teach you, or free graphic design, things like that. And I think that you'll realize that it's a lot closer. Your business idea becoming a reality is a lot closer than you think. So,
So a lot of DIY, a lot of being resourceful, bartering, asking aunts and uncles. So
yeah, using your resources. So let's talk about being on Shark Tank at 10 years old. Okay, I think with your dad, what was that like for you?
that was a very memorable experience. I always call it nerve sighting because it was nerve wracking, but it was also very exciting at the same time. And the story started when the product was in maybe 15 stores in Austin, Texas. So it was mainly the Austin community that we were selling to. I was doing the fair twice a year. We did tailgating, so we sold the lemonade there, and we were kind of outgrowing the commercial kitchen that we were being produced in. And that's when the African American Chamber of Commerce of Austin called and said Shark Tank was doing auditions in our offices. And so initially it was a no from my parents. Like, there is no way that we're letting our kids do that. She could get her feelings hurt, just because we don't want her to get her feelings hurt just because the shark said no. Like, to be discouraged and not do it just because sharks didn't see opportunity. And I think it was the last day they called us back and said, this is the last day that we're doing auditions. Are you sure you don't want to just stop in and see what they think of your idea or how scalable your idea is. And so we pitched in front of the judges.
She pitched.
I pitched in
Oh,
front of the
really?
judges,
Okay.
with like some of my product that was in the car and some information on the company that we had printed out. And before we knew, we were kind of getting past rounds and rounds of audition eliminations. And it was a lot of practicing a pitch, learning how to write a pitch, then writing that pitch, pitching in front of friends and family,
Practicing
or
the pitch.
local business owners, and then revising it and going back and revising it. And there was also a lot of paperwork as well.
So what she's saying is that we created this little local Shark Tank.
Okay.
Help, ask, and they would just ask her the right questions. They would, just kind of give her a platform to practice.
Yeah. Preparation before the opportunity.
Yeah, and we researched and we found, we listened to lots and lots of Shark Tank episodes and wrote down every potential question that could be asked.
And also when other businesses got their no's, got to know, like, at what point did Shark say, I'm out?
Right. So she was pretty much, she was ready.
Yeah, I see. So now you're standing there and you're and
yes.
Okay.
It was my dad who, I don't know how we chose how it was dad to go on the show. Maybe it was because I knew more. I knew everything about the story, and maybe dad knew. He was the finance and ops guy. Mom was the.
No, I thought that America would love to see a mom, a dad, and a daughter together, and that, I mean, they've seen moms and daughters, but to see an African American dad support his African American daughter was something that I thought was sweet, and so we chose him.
Okay.
We pitched.
It worked.
And it was Mr. Damon John who became our investor. Mr. Wonderful said he'd invest if I quit school, which is not an option as a 10-year-old. So I think that was an automatic I'm out. But it was Damon John who saw the opportunity and decided to partner with us and mentor as well.
Okay. And how has that relationship been?
Oh, the relationship with Mr. Damon John as a mentor has, I think I have learned a lot from him. He wrote a book called The Power of Broke. He goes on so many different podcasts.
He's a hard worker.
Yes, and so many different presentations that I've been able to watch of his, which has been amazing. And then also as a business partner, I think that we've gotten a lot more companies reaching out because they know that he's on our team. And he'll also reach out to those companies and on our behalf. And then just Shark Tank having our episode aired, because not every Shark Tank episode filmed gets aired. That was also amazing for the company because it was our first national coverage.
And to have it an update occur last week. I don't know if you had a chance to see the update, but Shark Tank came back and provided an update on Mikayla and Damon, and it was really sweet.
Yeah, nice. Okay, guys, I'm super excited about everything that you're doing, and let's just tell people where they can remind them where they can go buy your lemonade.
Okay, so for the book, it's available at Barnes and Noble. Oh, I haven't said this since
all
August.
The independents.
Yeah, Barnes and Noble. If you want to support your local bookstore, IndieBound, so any independent bookstore as well.
It's the #1 book on for children and money on Amazon.
So yes, Amazon as well.
Yes.
And the lemonade.
The lemonade, like we said, it's available online. So we have an amazing gift package with lemonade, a letter from me, and an amazing box with all the flavors that you can try. Or if you'd like to go to your local Whole Foods or Fresh Market or HEB
or Cost Plus World Market. So there's if you go to meandthebees.com, there is a link where you can go and figure out which place you want to buy the book. There's a link that you can shop all and buy it online. And there's a link where to buy, where you can put your zip code in and find the lemonade in your neighborhood. And you get access to the Healthy Hive Foundation as well.
Guys, go to meandthebees.com. Check out that website, order the book. In fact, order the book for yourself. If you have kids, order the book for that. If you have cousins, which you do, and everybody you can think of, just order the book, support her endeavor. She's doing outstanding things as you have just heard, and let's support her.
Give the gift of entrepreneurship.
Give the gift of entrepreneurship. Okay, awesome. And or visit your local store, and you can your local store as they mentioned, and pick up a bottle or two of Me and the Bees lemonade. Guys, thank you so much for being a part of Naturally Brown Woman, for joining us and telling us your story. Mom, again, kudos to you for doing such an awesome job and raising such an awesome daughter. And Mikayla, thank you for just being such an awesome woman, young lady. Okay.
And thank you to you guys, Naturally Brown Woman. We believe in you.
Thank you.